Hey everybody, this is Elman Woodson, and I just want to tell you right now, listen, something's got to give. That's right, I said it. You got to hear me out, people. Listen, something has got to give. You got to give something up to get to the next level. You got to give something up to get to the next experience. You've got to give something up to create that new life for yourself. Something's got to give. Something has got to give. And as I'm saying this, I'm getting this a picture of having seed in your hand and like pouring it into the ground in order to create this new life, this new being, this new creation. Like, so for example, if you wanted to plant some trees, you got to put down some seed. You got to put it into the ground and let it grow. Something has got to give. You can't keep being the same you and expect different results. You can't expect to become a different person and do the exact same things that you've been doing all your life. And the thing about it is that deep inside, in the back of our minds, we know this is true. We know this to be true. We know that we need to be different. We know that there's certain things that we need to do on a daily basis. We know that we all know. I know I need to wake up a little earlier so I can get more things done. I know that I need to eat right so I can be more healthy. I know that if I take my butt to the gym, I'll be even more healthy than I currently am. We know these things. We know these simple things. We know that if I want to get involved in business, I need to start studying the certain things. We know that if we want to be smarter in certain things, I need to take myself to a class or study some type of thing or read some type of book. We know these things, but it's the disciplines. You know why people have a problem with the disciplines is because it requires them to give something up. It requires them to give something up that they've been comfortable with their whole lives. And the problem is that we have an autopilot. So for example, you have this way of being that you have been doing things as for a certain way for so long that it's like your autopilot. So when you go and try to do something different, eventually your body is pushing you back down to where you have been operating for so long, and you want to stay there. But it's time to get uncomfortable, y'all. It's time to become more vulnerable, y'all. It's time to give it up. It's time to give it up. It's time to get to the next level. It's time for more passion. It's time for more vulnerability. It's time for more urgency. It's time. It's time for you to give it up. Give up that thing. You know what? And another thing about this is that, like, wow, as I'm talking, more things are coming to my mind. It's just crazy. But as I'm talking to you about this, it's like we focus so much on what we're giving up that we refuse to see the beauty of what you can create when you give things up. So for example, I'm going to go back to the original point that I made about dropping seeds into the ground. You can't have beautiful roses without putting some seeds in the ground. You can't have beautiful orchids without putting some seed in the ground. You can't have beautiful trees that help to clear out the air without some seeds in the ground. You know, I'm not a Marine, but I heard this saying that was by this Marine, and it just made it so interesting. He said, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everyone wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Ponder that for a little bit. And I heard another saying the other day that I thought was really interesting. Everybody wants an omelet, but no one wants to crack an egg. Everyone wants an omelet, but no one wants to crack an egg. See, the thing about it is this. You wouldn't have the beauty, the tastiness, the deliciousness of an omelet unless you crack the egg. You cracking the egg allows you to create this beautiful new masterpiece of what you can use to feed yourself, what you can use to nourish yourself, what you can use to nourish someone else, what you can use to feed someone else, what you can use to feed someone else, which makes you feel happy, which makes you feel content. Do you see what I'm saying? As you begin to invest your time, your energy into changing your life, you don't know where it can take you. You don't know the end result of what can come out of that. But you got to give something up. You got to give up something. You got to give it up. Now, I want you to think about it. Now, listen, I like basketball. And listen, I was, not about me, but listen, you in basketball, you have like you have little kid basketball, you have middle school basketball, high school basketball, college basketball, NBA basketball. Now, let me tell you something. Let me ask you something. Can the person who's in middle school go right into the NBA with their skills? Generally not. Now, every now and then you have this phenomenon, of course, in high school, whatnot. But listen, at every level, it requires you to do something different. Not only does it require you to do something different, it requires you to give something else up. You got to eat a little bit more healthy as you transition from high school, middle school to high school. As you transition from high school to college, the regimen is a lot more intense. You have your workouts, you have your trainings, you have your shoot arounds. It's requiring you to give up your time. It's requiring you to give up some partying. It's requiring you to give up some foods that you may not have eaten because now you have to be more healthy. And now let's not even talk about the NBA. Let's not even talk about the National Basketball Association, where now you are required to eat properly, to work out properly, to train a lot more with a lot more strict regimen. You got to show up for practices. You got to give up your time away from your family and your friends. You got to give something up. But let me tell you something. The reward is that much greater as you keep progressing. And as you keep progressing, you're changing into a whole nother person. The requirements are different at each level that you go for. You got to give something up. You got to give something up. The question is, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up to create something? Don't get so focused on what you're giving up, because that's where it'll stop for you if you focus there. What can you give up to create something beautiful in your life? What can you invest in yourself that can feed the masses? What can you invest in yourself that'll feed you? What can you invest in yourself that will take care of you and your family for generations to come? What are you willing to give up now? What are you willing to do today that'll make your life completely different from any other life that you've experienced thus far? What are you willing to give up? The time is now. The time is now. You focus on what you can do. You focus on how you can build. You focus on how you can invest. Invest your time now. Sow the seed so that you can build and create with your life, because that's what it's all about. Our life is about development and about creation. What can you give up? You got to give something up. Now, look, if you agree with this message, please type yes in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm under the handle I am Elman Woodson. I appreciate you. I look forward to talking with you soon. I will see you on the other side. Have a great one.